are live. All right, so, I think I got it. All right, I think the audio is good. So, I'm doing this one by request, all right? Request, all right? Somebody asked me to do it, and I just finished watching this. So, God damn it, I can't speak today. So, I'm doing this by request, and I just finished watching it, okay? So, get ready for the... it's not going to be spoiler-free. I'm actually going to get pretty into it. So, get ready for the review of Netflix's Pokémon Journeys. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Dario World!
Alright, so clearly I'm a little thrown off because I fucked up the audio there too. So, what can I say? Watching the show was fun. Especially, just watching it all at once. But before I get into it, kind of news for tomorrow. So, if you guys remember, back in the day, and by back in the day, I mean one point last year, well, before that, for those of you who don't know, I work for a radio station called Rock 105.3. And in this radio station, we play a game called Throwback Trivia. In Throwback Trivia, we play movie clips, like audio clips from movies, and they have to guess which movie that came from. So, last year in my podcast, I did it a couple times. I did like my own little like Throwback Trivia clips, and it was somewhat fun. It was just not as enjoyable because, well, since I wasn't doing the show live, I didn't get any feedback from anybody. So, it was just me sitting there giving you 30 seconds for you to answer. Which was awkward, and honestly, it was at a point where I wasn't really like the silence was killing me. So, fortunately, I don't have to deal with that now because now I am doing live streams, and I want to do something different too. But as I get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Also, as I just mentioned, live streaming pretty much every day, Monday through Friday. Hours vary, but every day. At Super Dario World on Twitch and on YouTube. Also, follow my Facebook page at Super Dario World. I update everything there. So, as I was saying, since I'm doing live stream now, I could actually get reactions or answers to the clips as I'm playing the game. And to kick it up a notch, as you guys know, my kid brother joins me here from time to time. My kid brother Eric. So I thought, you know what? How about if I just play some clips? Eric has to guess, and he will be competing against the audience in the chat room. So there's an advantage for him because you guys are in a bit of a delay, but there's also a disadvantage to him because he will be going up against the whole internet. So pros and cons, and obviously there has to be some kind of punishment for it. Otherwise, what's the point of even playing the game? So tomorrow I'm going to try this out at 7 p.m. So I'm putting a date on it. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. If you want to join me, again, live stream at Super Dario World, 7 p.m. on Twitch and on YouTube, whichever you prefer. You can go up against Eric and you try to guess where a sound clip from a movie is from. If the internet wins and you defeat Eric, well, he will be punished somehow. I'm not exactly sure how, but he will be punished because it's fun for me. Anyway, so let's get into this. Let's get into Netflix's Pokémon Journeys, the series. So this show actually came out in June, and I watched the first couple of episodes, and I wasn't totally blown away by it. I wasn't a fan. Let's just say I wasn't a fan. And so I decided, you know what? I got other stuff that I need to watch. I'm not gonna really worry about this. Maybe I'll go back into it. Maybe I won't. However, I had a listener who sent me a message like, dude, have you finished it? I need you to watch it because I feel like you're gonna hate it. And so So after I got a comment like that, it's like, oh, all right, now I'm intrigued. I want to see what they do. So here is if you want the spoiler-free version of this review, here's the spoiler-free version. Overall, the series is, I guess, entertaining enough. You can watch. It's still Pokemon. You're still watching like monsters fight, and if you're a fan of Pokemon, and it'll hit you a little bit in the nostalgia. It's okay for a background TV show or for kids. It's fine. If you've ever played a Pokemon game or if you know anything about Pokemon, you will have a lot of issues with it. I was very upset watching the show. What? Jesus Christ! Why can't I say the word? I was very upset watching a lot of things, and I will break them down because let's just say a lot of them were disrespectful. And honestly, this is my most honestly most opinion. Like the only conclusion I arrived to is the people who made the show either have never played a Pokemon game or didn't even watch the original show. That's the only conclusion I can land on, and I'll break down why. So first off, the things that it does good, well, the animation is a little bit better. It's funny. It has a lot of funny moments. The show introduces a couple of new characters. Basically, it follows the journeys of Ash. It's kind of ambiguous as to what point in Ash's journey we're joining him. Honestly, I have no idea. He hasn't been to the Galar region yet, but we're not exactly sure how much experience he has. The only Pokemon he has with him is Pikachu. It's not exactly clear how many Pokemons he has. His mom has Mr. Mime, so at least it's after that point, but it's not exactly clear. They're very ambiguous as to how much experience Ash has. And they introduce a new character, Go. So they introduce a bunch of other characters, but the two main ones here are Ash and Go. Now, Ash is still a dumbass. And by dumbass, I mean dumbass with a capital D. And I'll get into why. Well, he's always been kind of a dumbass. Like, he just gets really kick-ass Pokemon and releases them, which is very annoying. Or he doesn't take an opportunity to capture a really kick-ass Pokemon. He's still a dumbass, okay? Which is one of the most stressful things of the show. But whatever. He's somewhat of a lovable dumbass. He's goofier than in other versions, but he's still, you know, like a very likable because he's always cheerful. He's always trying to believes in the best in people, except for Team Rocket and stuff like that. So fine, he's likable enough. Go, on the other hand, is also somewhat likable, but he goes in through a very odd transformation halfway throughout the show, and I'll explain that. The dude's kind of obsessive in a weird way. And his companion is, as you can see right here, Scorbunny, which is one of the starters from the newest Pokemon game, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, basically, the premise of the show is Ash and Go get hired to become like assistant researchers at a lab, and I believe it's a lab in Vermilion City. Let me see what the Pokemon professor here, Pokemon Cerise in Vermilion City, and who's apparently like a big deal. And they go out on adventures and explore different things. That's the gist of the show. And sometimes it's fine. I mean, in the very second episode, you get to see Lugia, which is pretty cool. Third episode, you get to see Venusaur. So you get to see pretty advanced Pokemon early on. So very quickly, like I said, you get Venusaurs, you get Lugias, you get to see Tyranitar right there, like early on. So it has fun stuff. Like you get to see a Dragonite in the first season. All that is cool. So that is what they handled well. And like I said, it's funny. Like the new character's funny. Scorbunny's funny. He has cool personality. And so for those, Travis, yes, it is live. We're doing it live right now. Anyway, otherwise I couldn't see your comment. But anyway, back to what? Doing it live. Sorry, it's my brother. He's an idiot. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so that's what the show does well. Anything other than that, I have a lot of issues with. But before I get into it, I need to clarify this. Ash is a dumbass, and I don't like him. If you want to see a good animated Pokemon show, I highly, highly recommend you check out Pokemon Origins. This is the best animated thing that Pokemon has ever done. The best animated show. It's actually a bunch of short stories, and this is the story of Red. Now, the big difference between Red and Ash is that Red is not a dumbass. Red will capture absolutely everything that comes in his that crosses his path. He actually tries to catch them all. So even if they already have a Pokemon trainer, he'll try to capture him. So that particular adventure, a lot of fun, highly recommended. Best animation, best story. So this is why I highly recommend that one. Let's switch back to the Netflix one. So, also, Travis, I said that because you look like a professional. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, it looks like I have a person who has millions of subscribers. Maybe someday, you know? Get the word out. Also, thank you for reminding me. Please subscribe to the channel. It'll help me out a lot. Anyway, let's continue on with this because there's a lot that went wrong in the show. So, if you've ever played a Pokemon game, hey, you know what? Even I'll save that for a later for a later point. Let me just start because I had to stop and think really hard. What was it that I loved about the original show? What is it that I love about this franchise? Is it all just nostalgia? So I started going back and thinking about the original series because I saw the original series before I played the game, and the love for that one is the one that jump started my love for the whole franchise. Right? If I hadn't loved the first episode of Pokemon, I wouldn't have stayed there. Right? It's pretty logical. So I started thinking, what was it that I loved about that show? And it was a combination of things. First off, Ash and Pikachu were like a interesting duo. You like to see the whole animals that have powers. The whole concept of training a Pokemon, making them more powerful is interesting. Fighting, you get to see different types of Pokemon. You don't know what they're doing. You know what their powers are. As the cast grows because they're capturing more Pokemon, you're curious about, what's he gonna evolve into? How's he gonna get more powerful? Their relationships, that's what you care about, right? The expanding roster and the exploration of the Pokemon world. At least that is my biggest attractor to the series, the Pokemon themselves. And so as this show is going on, I believe it takes about 4 episodes before a Pokemon is captured. And I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I think that 5. I believe it's not until episode 5 is any Pokemon captured here, and it's BS because it's kind of a Score Bunny being like, I want you to capture me, to Go for no reason. By the way, Go's a weird dude. Go's objective in life is that his first Pokemon ever is going to be Mew, because he encountered Mew kind of like when he was a child. How the fuck are you going to capture Mew if you don't have a Pokemon partner? I don't know. Like, I have no idea what his strategy is. He's just going to show up against Mew and he's going to be like, hey, do you want to just kind of like be my Pokemon? I mean, you met him when you were a child. You could have just asked him there, but you didn't. So his objective is he's going to capture Mew with, I don't know, hopes and dreams, feelings. Also, to answer your question, Travis, do I think Serena's coming back in the series? Sure, why not? Honestly, I don't think it's gonna mess anything up. So sure, I think you're gonna get cameos from a whole bunch of characters, and if they don't, they're dumbasses because it would be a missed opportunity. But going back to this, so as the show, like I said, Go, his plan is he's not gonna capture any Pokemon until he captures Mew. Then at one point, after he accepts Score Bunny, he's like, all right, since every single Pokemon has the DNA of Mew, how about if I capture every other Pokemon and then work my way back to Mew? That's kind of like, I believe that's the premise of episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. So at episode 6, he decides he's going to start capturing Pokemon. And at this point, you're like, okay, that's fair. So you got Ash, whose objective is he wants to be a Pokemon master, so he wants to train up his Pokemon and actually become like a badass trainer and a badass fighter. And then you got the other guy who wants to catch them all. Fine, it's cool. And I've said this before. Pokemon, the greatest tagline on any show ever, and the greatest merchandising tagline is Pokemon's gotta catch them all. Because you gotta catch them all, gotta catch them all. And if you sell anything, especially you have a roster of 150 Pokemon, which is now like 900, and your tagline is gotta catch them all, you're gonna have a whole bunch of obsessive kids who are like, I wanna catch them all. I don't care what it is. I don't even care what it is. If it's cards, I want them. If it's the video game, I want them because I gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. That's kind of the premise. So it worked. It was brilliant marketing. It was brilliant advertising. Whoever thought of it is a genius. And that's one of the things that kept you there in the franchise. If a new game comes out, I gotta have it because I gotta catch them all. I gotta have it. I gotta catch them all. And so as that point on the show hits, I'm like, okay, so you're gonna have different stuff. By the way, the Pikachu here at this point of the story is all right, this annoys me because he's either super powerful or really weak. Because sometimes he does certain attacks that doesn't even tickle a Pokemon, and other times he takes down Tyranitar and a Gyarados. No joke. With one Thunderbolt, he took down a Tyranitar, which is ground, which should not be affected by an electric type attack, and a Gyarados who actually he should get roasty toasty with an electric attack because he's water flying. So Gyarados is fair. Tyranitar, I don't know, but with one single attack, he roasted them both. So that Pikachu is OP as fuck. If you tell me that's a level 70 Pikachu, I'll believe it. Because that's kind of level that he was in Pokemon Gold when you encounter Red's Pikachu in the mountain at the end. So, OP as fuck Pikachu. But then he has issues with other Pokemons. Like he can't catch Scorbunny. He can't hang with what was it? With another Pokemon he couldn't hang with. And it's like, what's his level? You need to tell me. Either he's a super badass or he's not, right? Anyway, so that's one of the things that really bothered me was that. The other thing is that the type matches, just they threw it out the window. Just threw it out, like, and I just gave you an example. A Pikachu, an electric type, doing an electric type attack against a ground type, and it actually hurt him, is insanity. So if you've ever played a Pokemon game, you know that you can't. Electricity cannot hurt ground. It's one of the. It's a typing thing. It's been around forever. And it's honestly, it's an insult to the intelligence of anybody who's ever played a Pokemon game. Now, it's fine. It could have been like, oh, well, it's a new audience, whatever. That's not an excuse for me, or at least I don't think it's a valid excuse. And so I'm not cool with it. But fine, whatever. New generation, maybe new rules. I don't think so because I checked out the type charts, and still, as I'm scrolling through them right now, I still don't really see. Don't see any changes there. So, no, they. Oh wait, I was gonna put in there, but I'm saving it. So, that's not an excuse. So to me, it's either they didn't care enough, or they just never played one of the games or seen the show. Because the show sometimes does that kind of BS. I mean, in the first season of Pokemon, Pikachu beat Brox's Onix. And again, with an electric attack. However, the sprinkler's going on, so Onix was wet. So that was the BS explanation. Still, BS. I'm not cool with that. Then, the thing that really upset me is that they set up a really. Okay. I was about to jump to the end, and I'm ready to go there yet. I need to stick with Go here. So Go. So I thought, all right, the show's gonna go. Ash, he's the fighter. Go, he's going to be the one that catches them all. Fine. That's fair, right? That's fair up to this point. Here's the issue, though. The way that Go catches Pokemon is fucking insanity. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. All he does is he throws a Pokeball at them, and he catches them. So he doesn't battle. And I know what you're thinking. The first Pokemon he catches after Scorbunny is a Caterpie. You're like, all right, it's fair. He does that same thing with a Butterfree, with a Pinsir, with a Venomoth, and the only one that he actually does battle is a Scyther, but barely. So the dude's just basically throwing Pokeballs at Pokemon and catching them. And I'm just sitting there ripping my hair, so I'm like, what? What? He's not even trying to. I mean, what's the point of having the Scorbunny right there if you ain't even trying to battle them? That's part of the point. Also, his objective is to catch every single Pokemon and literally not evolve them. So he catches a Caterpie. Normally, what would Ash do? It's like, all right, I'm going to evolve him into a Metapod, and then he's going to evolve into Butterfree. No. His objective is, I'm going to catch a Caterpie, then I'm going to catch a Metapod, and then I'm going to catch a Butterfree. Why? I don't fucking know. But I was watching that, and I was like, are you kidding? Maybe it's because I like evolving my Pokemon. Maybe it's because I like training my Pokemon. Maybe it's because I actually enjoyed the battle part and maybe I enjoyed that part of the show a little bit too much, the how you capture them, stuff like that. But to me, this was fucking bonkers. I could not understand it. In one episode, Go caught the entire every single bug Pokemon in Kanto, and he was at a forest near Vermilion City. I've spent a lot of time, and I mean way too much time, in Kanto, all right? Because I played the red version. The first I played the yellow version. I played the red version. I played the blue version. I played Fire Red. I played Leaf Green. I've played Gold and gone back to Kanto. I played Silver. I played what was it? Spirit? No, it's not Soul Silver. I played Soul Silver because I don't have the hard gold. I also and I've done Pokemon Snap. I've done pretty much a lot of stuff with the Pokemon franchise. The fact that they're trying to... Maybe I'm going a bit too deep, but I know that you can't catch a Scyther near Vermilion City, okay? There's no forest in there that has the Scyther. You can only catch Scyther in the Safari Zone, all right? Pinsir, the same thing. So the fact that he's catching every single one there is offensive. The fact that he's actually catching every single one instead of evolving them is offensive. The fact that he's not battling anyone except Scyther, just throwing Pokeballs at them is offensive. And so it's a mess in that sense. Like I get it. You want to catch them all. You gotta catch them all. But that's not the way you do it. That's not the way you do it. You want to. It annoyed me. Let's just say it annoyed me. So then also Go has some personality issues because he tried to have a battle and he got his ass kicked because he'd never had a battle before and because you didn't train your Pokemon. All right. So he gets his ass kicked and then he whines like a little bitch. And then here's the kicker, and here's the thing that really offended me, because they set up a battle that should have been fantastic, and I mean fantastic. So at the final episode of the show, you got it. They set up a battle between Lance, the Elite Four Lance, with his red Gyarados versus the champion of the Galar region, Leon, and his Charizard. And they actually reach a point in that battle where they go Giga, which is where they go Giant. Oh, no, Dynamax. I'm sorry. Where they go Dynamax. I believe Giga is something else. And so they go Dynamax. So they go Giant. So you got a giant red Gyarados fighting a giant Charizard. It should have been epic. It should have been a battle of epic proportions, right? In a way, it was fun, but the battle made no fucking sense from a battle standpoint. So here you go. You got, if you know anything about Pokemon battles, you know that Gyarados, as I just mentioned, is flying and water. Charizard is fire flying. So the type advantage here clearly goes to Gyarados, right? Because he can use water attacks. And basically, if he's resistant to fire, and he can hurt him with water. So basically, all he has to do is focus on water attacks, and he should be able to kick Charizard's ass, right? And this is not any red Gyarados. This is Lance's red Gyarados. Lance is a badass. He's the leader of the Elite Four. He's a badass. So this is a badass red Gyarados. As the fight starts, Leon starts with Flamethrower, which is, again, Leon is supposed to be an undefeated champion of the Galar region. How fucking stupid do you have to be to start with a fire attack against a water type? I don't fucking know. But this dude's the champion, so okay. So he starts off with Flamethrower against a water type, and Lance's response is, what was it? Hyper Beam, which makes no fucking sense. He should have gone with Hydro Pump. Hey, Water Gun. Hey, Bubble Beam. Something water related, something that would actually do some damage. And it was also Hyper Beam. If you know this, after you use it, you kind of have to wait another turn. It leaves you vulnerable and exposed. It made no fucking sense. Strategy wise, it made no sense. And they kept doing this back and forth battle where it made no sense. At one point, Gyarados actually does connect with Water Tail, and then he goes on to do Ice Fang. Now, Ice Fang, I get it. Ice has an advantage against flying. But still, I mean, Gyarados is not an ice type. You go with water. He's a water type, so he would get he gets ×2 because there's water advantage against fire, and since he's a water, he should get ×4. So you just keep going with water and you're gonna kick his ass. He doesn't. It's really annoying. And since Gyarados got close, at this point, Leon's Charizard counters with Thunder Punch, I believe. Now, I'm not sure, so I'm gonna go here to Cerebi here, and I'm gonna switch things out. Now, Cerebi is a website where it tells you like a whole bunch of stuff about Pokemon, and actually it has you a bunch of useful information. So I'm gonna go through it here real quickly, and this is all the TMs that you can teach Charizard based on generation. And so level up, it teaches you there. None of them is electric. Let's see, and in TMs you can teach him Thunder Punch. All right, it's fair. So, fine, you can teach him Thunder Punch. I believe that's new. I believe that's something of the new generations, and honestly, it's BS. And again, why would you not start with it? Why would you not start with something that you're like, hey, like, I'm going to kick his ass? Also, now that I fucking think of it, during the fight, Gyarados actually does Dragon Dance, which levels up his speed. Well, he powers up his speed and special attack. And still, he's not just focusing on the water. It's insanity. Like, that fight is insanity. Like, it may look really cool because you got a giant Gyarados fighting against a giant Charizard, but it makes no fucking sense. As I was watching it, thinking, like, this should have been cool. Like, this should have been a cool fight. Like if you would have shown Charizard straight up beating the red Gyarados because of strategy, I would have sat back and been like, all right, legit, cool, respectable, awesome. But that wasn't it. It was just stupidity followed by stupidity, continued with stupidity, and topped off with stupidity. It makes no fucking sense. It made no fucking sense, and it really upset me. It really upset me, as you can clearly tell. So, and that was the show. That's the show throughout. Like, it stops at 12 episodes, but throughout the show, it's just a whole bunch of bad decisions, followed by bad decisions, followed with not actually relating with their Pokemon. I mean, they got their starters who they relate with, but at one point, Ash gets a Dragonite, and he doesn't really hang out with the Dragonite. If I had a Dragonite, I'd ride that Dragonite everywhere. Like, you could not get me away from that Dragonite. I would have him at, like, just brush my teeth. Absolutely every single thing I did all day would be with that Dragonite. I would tell absolutely everybody and their mother about my Dragonite, and I would show that to them because you got a fucking dragon following you around. But no, and again, it's the only Pokemon he catches in the entire season, which is fine. I mean, if you're only going to catch one Pokemon and that Pokemon was a Dragonite, cool. But it made no sense. Honestly, it made no sense. I believe that they missed what the heart of the show is, what the fans like. And that's, the capturing of the Pokemon, the interaction, the evolving, making them grow. It's supposed to be, it was supposed to be that. This wasn't it. And honestly, I was disappointed. I already started, so I may finish it because supposedly the second half of the season will come out in September. But I don't recommend it, like, at all. It was bad. It was bad. I watched it in a day. It was 12 episodes, 20 minutes an episode. So I watched it in a day. But still, not great. And all right, now let me go here to the chat real quick because I got a whole bunch of stuff here. Wow. Okay, so Travis, you sent me a lot of stuff. I'm gonna try to go through these things here. Oh, he's gonna say, Mew, come to my Pokeball. Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea. I had no idea what Go strategy was to try to capture Mew, at all. Like, honestly, at all. The dude had never even thrown a Pokeball. Like, he actually has to try to figure. At one point in the show, he actually tries to figure out how to throw a Pokeball. It's insanity. How Pikachu beat Raichu? Pikachu is a higher level, better strategy. It's possible. Honestly, it's possible. And all right, that's not fair. Thunder Punch when it's really a good time. Yes, it's unfair, but to be somewhat fair, Thunder Punch is, well, first off, Charizard is not really strong on physical attacks. He's more of a special attack type of guy. And since it's not his natural element, he's not a natural electric type, he doesn't get that extra bonus. So when he hits Gyarados, it's ×4. It would not be ×6 or 8 as it would be with a natural electric type Pokemon. So yeah, it was disappointing. Also, there was really no main female character here, which was weird because honestly, it's always fun to see those interactions with Ash and Misty and a whole bunch of, like, I forget their names. I really forget because I grew up with Misty and I actually stopped watching the show when he let go of Charizard, and that was still in the Misty era. But yeah, you don't get those interactions anymore. You don't get all their other Pokemons. It was just bleh. Honestly, that was just bleh. There was nothing special about this particular season except maybe the Lugia episode, which was a little bit fun. But other than that, nah. They need to get their act together. Otherwise, I'm not going to continue seeing. I'm not going to continue seeing it. So there you go. That's it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Travis, thank you for joining me. Thank you for thinking that my show looks professional. I agree. If you want to see if the show looks professional yourself, you can check it out at Super Dario World on YouTube or on Twitch. Like I said before, tomorrow, 7 p.m., I will be doing a live stream with my kid brother Eric, and you can compete against them to see who can figure out what movie clips it sounds. So again, the game that we play on Throwback Trivia, movie clips, you have to figure out what movie it is. All you have to do is beat Eric. So I'm gonna play a clip. If Eric beats you to it, he won't be punished. So if you want Eric to be punished, show up tomorrow 7 p.m. and let's mess with the kid. That's it for today. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.